What's that?
Um,
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, we're on. We're live. We're live. That's what it says on YouTube. On YouTube, on the Comedy Schools channel, it says you're live. So I'm going to assume, why would they lie to me? You are watching Living on a Thin Line with Tony Vicich. We come to you every day, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Actually, we're on Pacific Time right now. After daylight saving. Anyway, it's very confusing. It's 2 o'clock right now. It's 2 o'clock right now. We are your daily diversion from all the anger, anxiety, weirdness, and hoopla going on in the world today. We build this show on 3 platforms: ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com, Comedy Schools channel, and Facebook Live right here, Tony Vicich. A couple things coming up to tell you about. Today's Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You're looking for something fun to do, something different, something you haven't done before that won't kill you. Check out Tony Vicich Presents Sunday Nights Funnier on Zoom. You can buy tickets to this show, only $10. When you buy a ticket to this show, you're buying 3 things, ladies and gentlemen. 3 things. You're buying entertainment. Yes, sirree, Bob, you are. You're buying in the American economy because we use portions of the proceeds to pay the comics. And we also donate money to the Maricopa Food Pantry. So 3 things. Speaking of which, so that's this Sunday night. We will be, Maricopa Food Pantry took last Sunday off, and they do great work for so many people here in the greater Maricopa area. They're actually housed out of a place called Hidden Valley. But you know how it is when you're out in the country or out in a rural area. 20 miles is, that's your next door neighbor. Now, we live in a subdivision, but once you get out of here, it's that. And it's still got a lot of that rural America feel. They were turned down for a grant by the city of Maricopa. They wanted to buy a refrigerated truck so they could better serve people when they come from Hidden Valley, about 10 miles outside of town, into town every week. Food will last longer, better perishable items. City turned them down because their address, whatever the incorporation is not in the city of Maricopa. Okay, fine. That would make sense, except that the majority of the people that they feed are in the city of Maricopa. I don't think it occurred to them when they were putting their whole wonderful program together that one day there'd be a giant pandemic, but that the layers of bureaucracy designed behind making sure that people who want to help people during the pandemic would be so Byzantine as to deny a worthwhile organization like theirs funds. City of Maricopa did give a grant. Now, they didn't give the money to them yet, but the money's earmarked for the Maricopa Boys and Girls Club. Now, if you know anything about the Boys and Girls Clubs, they do a lot of good work. They're a big benefit to single-parent households as far as their after-school programs. They are a big benefit. So I'm not knocking the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. I'm not knocking them for applying for a grant. I have a little concern when $100,000 is given to an organization that doesn't exist in Maricopa. It's not here. And all right, you could say, well, yeah, with this money, they will be here. That's true. But what about all the other worthy businesses in Maricopa? I don't want to keep harping on this, but eventually someone from the city will see it. Over $900,000 in grant money was not granted. It was put back in the emergency fund, which means it's like spitting in the ocean. Only about $500,000 is given away. Around 250 to nonprofits, 100 to one that doesn't exist out here yet. And then the rest, the 33 small businesses in Maricopa. In a city of 60,000, a little south of 60,000, they claim that everyone who applied, I got a grant. On the record, we applied, we did not get a grant. Now, there might have been a glitch in the matrix. But we applied for a very small amount. We were very scrupulously honest in our request. We did not get a grant. but 2 members of the city council, businesses they're associated with, got grants. And I've tried to explain to members of the city council I've spoken with, this is the kind of stuff that makes people hate politicians. Hell, there's 60,000 people out here. 900,000 for the city of Maricopa has been spent. You could give every man, woman, and child in this town $10,000, so have $300,000 left over. My math right on that?
I wasn't following you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I asked the producer, I go, is my math right on that? She wasn't following me. If you gave everybody $10,000, 60,000 people, yeah, it'd be $600,000, right? Or would that be $6 million? Say you gave everybody $1,000. That'd be $60,000. Yeah. Okay. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, you could at least really be aggressive in your promoting of this grant that the city fought to be able to get from the state. The money. You could be fighting for it. They fought for it. You could have been a little more aggressive in your awareness campaign to the city. I saw there's a woman online out here who makes masks from home. They don't have a job now. That's what they do. People running daycares from home. People who have lost their jobs trying to start micro businesses. Every one of them could have gotten a grant. But no. $900,000 to the emergency fund, $100,000 to a club that doesn't exist in this city yet, and then almost $20,000 to members of the city council. If you think that's right, write me and tell me how. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a short show today because I'm really super busy. We're built around 3 things: your questions and comments here on Facebook Live, YouTube, Comedy Schools channel, and ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com, and then some memento or trinket that we have around the house. And then I recommend 2 artists or pieces of music based on my vast vinyl album collection. So this is kind of a cool thing we have. You go, that looks like a dirty box. Well, it is a dirty box, but what's inside this dirty box is we like to collect. We have a lot. I'm not a collector of anything. We have a lot of Coca-Cola stuff here. This is an original. Look how cool is that? Coca-Cola bottle opener. It's a Coca-Cola bottle opener. Kind of you screw it on the wall, pop, open up your Coca-Cola bottle. Here's the original box that it came in. That's the kind of designs they did in those days. This goes on eBay for anywhere from $20 to $1,000. Here's what we haven't been able to discover. The first run of these came out in 1923. Second run in the 1940s, and there are replicas being made. So we're pretty sure this is not a replica. On the back it says 56. So there were X amount of them made, and which number it was is there. I think it's cool. I'm going to put it up outside. There'll be a lot of reason to open up a bottle. But they harken back to a different time, to a memory of hot, humid summer days. A lot of bugs around. You're always slapping bugs. And trying to cool off before air conditioning. No fans outside. It'd be kind of useless anyway. But you cooled off by having a nice cold Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola. And these were ubiquitous insides of barns, porches, everywhere grew up, and just kind of a cool thing to have. And it's sturdy, man. That's like steel. Okay, it's not made. I got a barbecue pergola outside that has like a thin one of these with no markings on it, but it's thin and it's flimsy. This was built to last. Built to last. So, like I said, this thing's worth anywhere between $20 or $1,000. We don't know exactly if this is a from the 1920s or the 40s run or later, but we're glad that we have it. Let's get the music. Like I said, it's going to be a short show. 2 albums here. Here is someone we don't talk about, the Possum. George Jones himself. The name of this album is Too Wild, Too Long. On this album is I'm a Survivor, The Real McCoy, Too Wild, Too Long, One Hell of a Song, Old Man No One Loves, The Bird, I'm a Long Gone Daddy, New Patches, Moments of Brilliance, and USA Today. And it was produced by Billy Sherrill, producer and singer-songwriter. If you don't know George Jones, you don't know shit. That's one of my favorite sayings. George Jones was a honky-tonk man during a country-politan time. When George Jones came along with songs like Why Baby Why in the 50s and The Race Is On, he was the living embodiment of the legacy of honky-tonk music, country music. He lasted into the country-politan era when country music being produced in Nashville had a lot of strings and horns and violins and lush arrangements. And two of the greatest songs in country music were recorded by George Jones during that time. The Grand Tour and God, why am I? She Still Thinks I Care. There would be two. And God damn it. You know what? I'm blanking on the song. I'm blanking on the third song. I'm going to have it. Champ de Blasio is watching. Kevin Brown is watching. We're going short today, guys. I got a busy day. But He Stopped Loving Her Today. That's, you know what? And why am I blanking on some of my favorite songs? He Stopped Loving Her Today, The Grand Tour, those two songs, Why Baby Why, The Race Is On, brilliant, iconic country music. The man lived the life, a legendary drunk, called the Possum, also nicknamed No Show Jones. I think Tammy Wynette tried to shoot him once. They were the power couple in country music for a long time. If you've never listened to George Jones and you're kind of a sentimental person, listen to The Grand Tour or She Still Thinks I Care or He Stopped Loving Her Today. And tell me that those songs don't tear you apart. This next album, and it already has a little sticky note on it because we researched it. This is The Beatles, 1962-66. Contains all their singles and hits. This is a shrink-wrapped vinyl, red vinyl album. And this particular piece right here goes for $300 on eBay. Now, there's a picture of the young lads once they were starting to really sow their oats and really expand creatively. But so many great tunes on this song. This is a limited edition, red vinyl, digitally remastered. I don't know where I got it. I don't know how it ended up in my collection, but I'm so glad that it is. All right, like I said, we're going to go a little short today because I got a busy day, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. Okay? So what did we do today? We showed you our cool Coca-Cola. We're going to start showing you some of our Coca-Cola stuff. Talk about it more in depth. Recommended George Jones. Recommended the Beatles. Told you that there's a show this Sunday at 7. In order to get tickets, go to comedyschools.com. I think we got it covered. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You don't sound like you were nothing for us.
I don't.